Question. Is it true that the small self can play a part in awakening? It's almost like leading a horse to water. I might spend a lot of time learning that I cannot make it drink, but nonetheless, I need to lead it to water. I attend satsang, I sit down to become quiet, and at the moment, I do these things because of a false personal meaning. Yeah, yeah. You lead the horse to water, and then when it drinks, it disappears. But from the small self, there's a way that leads you to the water. There's a way that leads you to truth. But even that way that leads the small self to truth is very different to the usual seeking activity. The stages of seeking activity. The first stage is to get spiritual, to get something you want, to be more happy, or to have this ideal of what it could be. And I know that the people attending here, I know that that's not the case. Okay. It's all about when you first start seeking. It's a fascination. It's an incredible inquiry. Um, well, what happens is as you begin to mature, as you begin to see past a lot of the activities that maybe no longer work, or uh, seeing through things, you start to resonate with the truth you don't quite understand. So you know you can't use your understanding, but there's a resonance. There's something deeper than you calling you. And that starts leading you, that starts leading the horse. And in a way, you're following your heart, but it's not a heart that you're accustomed to. It's not an emotional heart, it's not a mental knowledge, it's just the resonance. And you begin to live by that resonance. And by living that resonance, you're heading for the water. It's an interesting phenomena when that attachment still exists and one doesn't quite know reality, but one is being called by it. One is resonating with something deep, and you follow it. And what happens here is that resonance becomes something that knows you. And that resonance can build in your life where you feel known. And it's a resonance that you start to live for or like more from a personal point of view. And it's good. It's good. You live for what you know, but it's you live giving everything to this knowing that knows you. You feel known. You can touch it, you can taste it, but you can't define it. You're the fish that can't quite grasp what wet is. But you continue to follow it. Following existence itself in what is knowing you. And you begin to give everything to that knowing. Any pull to like something that takes you away from that being known, you'll choose to like that knowing of you more. You'll call it stillness. You'll call it resonance. But you'll like it more than anything you can manufacture or anything that starts to take you away by association to something in your self-orientation. You'll just start to live by what knows you more. And in AA, this is what we call the drawing closer to reality. You're drawing closer to reality. The horse is being led to the water. It is good. And you're beginning to live by what you know, despite what you feel or think. But you're still in your person being known by what's deeper than your person. And then bit by bit, you've kind of given everything away to what you usually like by association, to personal orientation, to what is knowing, to that resonance. And then when you like that more, there'll come a time when that knowing of you claims you and becomes the deeper part of you, opens up that floor you fall through, and there's that deep that is knowing of you, and your knowing of it, am it, and the experience of your person. And that thought that used to take you into association to your small self falls away. From being known, you become taken, then you know. You haven't done anything other than love that what's knowing of you. You've done nothing more than love resonance of that at the cost of everything in yourself, in your small self. you're known by that resonance until the resonance claims you. And then your knowing is what you are. And you become that knowing of who you are. Because what you do know to be true is that in existence, you are known. You can feel it. You can't describe it. You can't taste it. You can't speak it, name it. But you know you exist, and there's this knowing. And it is a different, there's a difference in resonance. There's a stillness, there's a deep resonance, something deeper than what you can ever imagine or know. Do you follow it? It's like someone says something profound, or you read something in a book and it's really profound, but all you're taking from it is that resonance that resonates with what you know to be true. And you don't build anything around it. You just take it with no one, liking that more than someone. And already you're drinking, but your horse is thirsty. Till you awaken, then the horse drinks. The horse being the personal self, not the ego, because I did say before the horse disappears. The, I thought, subject to its mental association, personal association, when that falls away, it disappears. But the horse being the personal self, the actual body, mind, or instinct, then becomes watered when it is known. Either upon awakening, it's give everything away to keep it, to be that and not separate from that. But when seeking comes to a point where you really like the resonance more than anything, it's coming away. It's like you like what you know more. There's remain as knowing, and there's liking knowing. Knowing is always the reality, whether you relate from it or you resonate with it. It always remains the reality. Whether it's the North Star or whether it's your heart, it's reality.